Welcome back to our Caring for Elderly Parents checklist series. I'm Tamara Berman,
And Amazi Martinez with Century 21 New Heritage.
and we're here today with Jennifer Perel, and we're going to talk a little bit about the experience that I've gone through with my aging parents. And every day was a new adventure. I would wonder if the phone would ring tonight. I would wonder if the phone would ring multiple times. I would wonder if they were going to be able to live in their house next week, next month, 6 months from now, which I kind of didn't think we were going to, but we still cling on to hope. And you've gone through this with your uncle,
With my
Ozzy.
uncle, yes, with him being alone, most of the time I would wonder when I made a phone call and he didn't answer. I would wonder if he was lying down on the floor, if he needed help, or if he was driving around outside and lost. So it's wonderful to have this beautiful person, Jennifer Perel with ElderWorks Educational Services, that's going to give us a lot of information about how to help our parents.
Thank you. I'm excited. So Jennifer, with ElderWorks, I'm sure you can give us lots of tips for choosing senior living options.
Absolutely. So ElderWorks is a not-for-profit, and we've been in this industry, gosh, I don't even know, 13 years plus? I can't remember. The one thing we always tell people is tour. Tour at different times of the day. So if you're going out, you want to go in and look at the entire building, look at what they have to offer, do it by appointment. Obviously, you don't want to just walk in the first time. The second time, yeah, you do. But the first time you make an appointment and you get the tour, you get all the knowledge given to you right up front. Then you can, if you're interested in that building, you go back again at a different time and see if the same people are out, see if it's the same vibe, right? And have a meal there. If it really interests you, I mean, this is not like mealtime, go to 10 places and eat. This is to check it out, make sure the food's what you like, because not everybody is good at cooking. Some don't make fresh food. They have frozen food in bags, they reheat. And so you really need to know what they're offering, right? Because we have a lot of great farms here in Illinois. There's no reason not to have good food. Another thing is check for odors, check for the activity schedule. Is there an activity schedule? What kind of outings do they have? What kind of education do they have? Is it within your budget? And all of these things they're extremely important when you're
I've got one.
Yeah, what is it?
What is their COVID restrictions and protocol?
And a lot of that is regulated by the state of Illinois. I know a lot of families were very angry they couldn't see their loved ones.
Oh, so hard.
But they're not doing it to be mean.
No.
They're doing it to keep your loved one alive and in good health.
That was the hardest thing when my uncle had to go into the home. And then at first, it was in February, and then March, that's when COVID happened. So at first we were able to go see him. I was, going over there at least once a day.
Right.
And then COVID happened, and all of a sudden we can't. And
Right.
so,
there's good and bad with the COVID outbreak, and COVID's bad, I mean, really. But what it did do is make all of these senior communities look at their programming and figure out how to connect the families with their loved ones in these
Yes.
buildings because they couldn't.
And that was
Right.
a wonderful part too,
Yeah.
because they did come up with different options that we
Yes.
can still communicate.
There are
with
some, depending on the time of year, right? So
Mhm.
summer is easier. You can meet outside, be separated. We have been in a building where there's actually a room with plexiglass, so you can talk to
Oh,
each
wow.
other through the plexiglass.
Mhm.
There's also iPads. They can hand
Mhm.
iPads out now.
But it's
So
important
different.
to ask that because
Yes.
in my particular situation, my mom went in to a facility last August when COVID was going on. But at that time, we could go and visit with her outdoors.
Mhm.
Well, we saw her outdoors, and that very day they shut it down because of the COVID numbers in that county. And then my dad couldn't see her at all,
And that's
he has
stressful.
no technology skills,
Right.
and they weren't offering much else. So
Right.
that was really difficult, and that was very difficult for our family because the decline, because my mom had dementia, so she didn't understand why we weren't there.
Right.
And so it's a very hard thing. So it is important, since it looks like COVID is here for quite some time, forever,
Well, yeah.
to know what types of things do they do, because maybe if they had had an iPad that they bring, and maybe we could have figured something a little
Well, keep
better.
in mind, these communities are regulated by the state. So independent assisted living, memory care, skilled nursing, they're all different, right? So the good news is, if your loved one is moving to a senior community or you're thinking of moving into a senior community, they will always get to see humans. Always. They will always have breakfast, lunch, and dinner delivered to them if they have to stay in their apartment. So they're getting 3 touches. They're not alone in a house declining. Because they're getting
Right.
0 touches.
That's true.
They're also not getting really good meals.
Yeah.
There are still restaurant style meals
You're
being
right.
delivered. And they delivered activities.
Right.
So there were things to do.
Mhm.
And they string things through the TV.
Yes.
So there's
That's
it's
true.
different.
You're right. It's a
Yes.
good way to think about it.
Yeah, it may be hard on you and your loved one because you can't see each other, but at least
Right.
they're getting some socialization.
Yes.
And these people in these buildings really do care.
Mhm.
They love
Yes.
to take care of people, and they're going to try to not let anything happen to your loved one.
Mhm.
And that's got to be good
And
for your heart.
that's a big relief for me
Right.
because my uncle was living alone.
Yeah, that's not
So
good.
I didn't know what, it's like I didn't keep track of who visited him or who didn't or
Right.
whatever, or who called him or,
Yeah,
if
you
he ever
never know.
got a phone call.
Mhm.
And so, so that was very important to me that he would have this interaction. It wouldn't be, it wasn't necessarily from our family, but he had people around
And he
him.
was
And I was
safe.
checking,
Right.
exactly. And that was
Yes.
the most important thing.
Mhm.
He was safe, and then I could call
Mhm.
and they would, tell me, or, they would transfer the call so I could actually speak with him. So I
Right.
knew that he was okay.
Right. And they're not ever going to not let you talk to someone. They really,
Oh, yeah.
they would love for everybody to come visit. They would. This is not
Right.
to be mean. It's
No.
really not.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So when we do intake at ElderWorks, what we do to help figure out what type of housing is best for a loved one
Mhm.
is we find out who the whole person is. And this is not just some place to live, all right? This is some place to thrive. Wherever you go, you want to try to thrive. So it's based on who they are with their medical issues, their physical limitations, but their personality is huge. Of course, budget. If you have money, you have choice.
Right.
You have less money, you have less choice. But there's always something.
Mhm.
All right, Illinois is great for seniors. There's always an option, but the personality. Not everybody is, engaging. Some people
Yes.
don't want to be involved in all the activities. Some people want a very quiet place. Some people want a loud place. Some people want a large place or a small one. Some like urban, some like suburban. Some like the birds. Some hate birds. Some people are religious. And some people aren't. What do you want?
Right.
What does your world look like? What did you used to do? What are you currently doing, and what can we get you to do again that you want to do?
Right.
And then we take that whole thing,
Wow.
and then we give you the options based on you within about 15 minutes.
Wow.
I
That's
know.
great.
That's amazing.
We can save you so much
Oh
time.
my gosh, I wish I would have come talk to you
I know.
before
I
when
get
we
that a
started
lot.
this journey.
I get
yes.
that a lot. Oh, and by the way, we're a free service. So
Oh my gosh.
we sell nothing. You can call us for anything. We're guidance counselors. We can help you with any aging questions. And it really needs to start when you're in your 50s. Do not wait to start planning for your future. You don't know
Really?
what it holds.
Well, gosh, I gotta start planning.
Well, I got a couple months then.
I'm there. I plan. And always, always, always communicate what you want, right?
Mhm.
So
Yes.
we have a lot of older adults who don't talk to their children. They don't tell their kids what they want, and then something happens and they can't make their own choices. So these kids are put into a position where it's very stressful because they never talked about what was next.
Mhm.
And then there's also the children with the guilt. There is no such thing as guilt when you're helping a loved one.
And if you have multiple siblings, if you're trying to guess what they wanted, there's a
Mm.
great chance for disagreement on
Oh,
what
it's
you
chaos.
think they would have
Yeah.
wanted.
Multiple
Yes.
siblings are chaos. So what we
Mhm.
always say is appoint one person as the person to talk with the communities. You can all go see them, you can all do whatever you want, but you appoint that one person to talk with mom and dad, bring them the solutions. Because if you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 siblings and you're all doing it, you're gonna make chaos.
Right.
And then it's even harder to
Mhm.
move forward in the process. So
Mhm.
make sure you're touring, make sure your legal documents are in order. You need to make sure your power of attorney for healthcare is in place, your power of attorney for property, and only gets implemented should you become incapacitated.
Mhm.
So no one's going to take your money, no one's going to put you away.
Right.
They only can help you with what you want, really.
Mhm.
So don't be stubborn. I have so many stubborn people. I'm going out feet first. I tell my children nothing. I'm like, oh my God, you don't like your children. And that's okay too. You don't like your children, but
But probably a lot of times, though, it helps for them to hear it from a neutral third party.
yes. And we are neutral. All
Yeah.
we do is give you, here's your choices. You want to stay home? Here you go. But we're also going to tell you why you should or shouldn't stay home.
Mhm.
If that's the best choice, great. But if it's not the best choice, I'm going to say, well, maybe you want to think about doing that for now. But you might want to look at some senior housing options for future needs.
Right.
Because you may not be able to stay home, even if you want to. And staying home's boring. Honestly, Oh, I
Yeah.
want to watch TV all day and eat Snickers bars, because that's pretty much what's going to happen.
I know, especially during
Yeah.
COVID. That's
Yes.
what my parents were doing.
There's nothing to do. Very
Mhm.
boring. You live in a
Yes.
senior community, there's always support in place. And I like food, so I love that I get a restaurant style meal every day. You know, and there's coffee for me, there's breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, activities are fun, you know, and I can play
Mhm.
instead of have to clean my house. 'Cause,
Right.
ugh,
Oh.
yuck. And it's not like the old days. So way back when senior housing was really a nursing home,
Right.
people would just they remember grandma staring at a wall or doing nothing, and that is
Right.
not today's senior
Mhm.
living. Living is the key word. We're living. We're not just going somewhere, right? I'm not put away. I am going away and having a blast.
There you go.
So, just just think of an optimistic future, and don't be a doggy downer. I mean, if you think your life is going to be terrible if you move, guess what's going to happen? Your life's going to be
Yeah,
terrible, because
right.
that's what you're
Right.
predicting for yourself.
Exactly.
So we just need to take care of each other and try to, hello, here's the facts.
Yep.
Right? Let's use our facts versus our emotions to help make decisions. So that's some of the tips that I can
Those are
give.
great tips.
Those are
Thank
great
you.
tips.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer, for all the useful tips and ideas that you've shared with us. We really appreciate it. We appreciate everything that Paxum and ElderWorks is doing for the seniors in our community and for the people that love them and are trying to help them.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We love our seniors. They're our favorite. We like you too, but we love us.